Hello, this is Shannon and I own a small crochet business called Crochet. If you're new here, welcome. I'm going to give you a second to go down below and hit the subscribe button because I would love to have you as part of my YouTube community. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today I am filming a video as part of the Cozy Buckeyes Share the Love Challenge. She challenged her community to do 5 new free crochet patterns. So I think I'm going to try to do more than 5. That I'm going to film this across multiple parts, but I have 4 to start off and share with you all. So I am going to do that now. I will include links below to like the profiles or YouTube videos or whatever that I use to make these. So the first thing is I made a bunch of hanging plants. So I have a market coming up that is at a co-op grocery store, and I figured there's going to be a lot more like adults there, like maybe not bringing their kids. And I thought that these would go over well. I've also been really wanting to make hanging plants. So these are from q.squares.creations. She has a lot of different variations of plants on her page. She does not include like the hanging strap on them, so I will share with you how I do that. So I'm going to share the 3 that I made. This is the first one. I'm going to try to show you the different leaves. So these are like leaves with like long leaves with little leaves off of it. I don't know how to describe it. So this is the first one that I made. So you make the leaves first, and then you make the soil. And then you leave like a tail for the leaves and you push them through the middle of the soil and tie them in, which I thought was really great. And then you make the basket. And then at the very end, you attach the soil with the leaves on it to the basket. And then you do a little half double crochet for the rim. And then the string I did super simple. So I just did a slip stitch onto the side. I chained, I think 30. And then I slip stitched down to the other side. That's all it is. So it's a chain and then slip stitched onto the other side. Woven the ends. I left the ends long so I could bring them together and tie off as well, so it was strong and secure. And I made a little hanger. So this is number 1. Here's number 2. This is like supposed to look like a pathos, and I did like a 3-string hanger for this. So for all of these in her pattern, she has like the same length for the leaves or the strands of plant. I did some in varying lengths to kind of give it this look where they're varying lengths. What else can you say? So this is like a pathos. You can see the style of the leaves. Oh, I forgot to say the colors I use. So all of the plants, all the leaves are in the green mystical from Bernat. And then the pots, this is Rust from Premier Basic Chenille. The soil in this one is chocolate. I kind of used like yarn scraps for some things. Like I had a little bit of this rust left, so I made that. And then this one, I used rust for the soil because I had a little bit left of that. And then I use sand for the, gosh, I'm losing my train of thought, for the basket, the pot, because I have a lot of sand and I need to use it. So that's the pathos one. So that's pattern number 2. And then the last one that I made, and I plan to make more, is like this string of pearls. So it has all these baubles. So again, her pattern has them like all the same length, and I made them in like varying lengths. And again, green mystical for the plant, sand from Premier Basic Chenille, and then the soil in this one is caramel, because again, I had a little bit left. And with a lot of yarns, and especially Premier, if you don't use the same dye lot, they oftentimes look different. And I use chocolate a lot, and I just had a little bit not chocolate. I use caramel a lot and had a little bit left of this, so I decided to use it for the soil. So those are the 3 plants that I made. They're fairly quick. I would say they probably took me Well, it depends on the leaves. This one was really quick. I would say this one probably took me an hour and 15 minutes. These ones, the leaves were a little bit more complicated, so maybe this took me like an hour and a half. So that's 3 of the patterns. And then the last one I have to share with you today, and I'll be back to share more, is this little cutie. This is from the Crochet Zoologist. She posted this free pattern to celebrate hitting 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 followers, or maybe more, I forget. But he's so cute. I think you know who this little blue alien is. He's really popular right now. His name rhymes with itch. This is like a little car hanger. And I think he's really adorable. So I'm gonna try to make like 1 or 2 more of these to bring to my market and see how they do. I'm also gonna post them on my Facebook page, which is mostly customers, and see who might want one for their car or to hang on their kids' like doorknob in their room, because there's a new movie. So those are the free patterns I have to share with you today as part of this challenge, and I will check in with some more and do a little compilation. Oh, sorry, I am like losing my mind. It's Saturday morning. The colors I use for this, so I use the green mystical again for the string, and then this isn't exactly his colors, but this is what I had. This is this dark blue and the light blue are Premier Basic Chenille, and then the nose is Bernat. I can't remember the names. He was super easy and super quick. You make the body, you make the ears and sew them on, but you just sew them on at the bottom, so they're really fast. Then you slip stitch in the arms and crochet on the hanger. So he was really quick. And now for real, I'm going to end this clip, and then I will be back probably in a couple days to share some more, but for you guys, it'll be like a second. So see you then. All right, so it's a few days later, and I have 2 more patterns to share with you all as part of April from the Cozy Buckeye and Stacy from Apple Tree Boutique. Stacy Makes Share the Love Challenge with the free pattern. So I went a little hanging plant crazy, but I really love them. So I made 1 more free pattern for a hanging plant. This is a new pattern that Fiber Lily just posted, and it's another hanging plant. So it's more mini than the other ones that I made. So here it is. Her pattern on her page shows it with worsted weight yarn, and I made it with blanket yarn, obviously, and it worked out perfectly fine. I did make less leaves than her pattern calls for, because they just fill up a lot more with the blanket yarn, but I think it's super cute. She includes instructions on making like the 3-strand hanger, which I thought was really helpful, and it worked out pretty quickly. Probably about an hour. But I think I would be able to make it quicker now that I've done the pattern before. And just as like a size comparison to the other ones I shared, so here's the one, the q.squares.creations one. Here's the one from Fiber Lily. So it's just a tad bit smaller. So it's kind of nice because then you have like 2 different price points, and you could even take the different strands from the q.squares.creations pattern and use it in Fiber Lily's little basket. And you can really get creative with it too, and kind of add flowers or do your own thing. So that was another free pattern. And then the last one that I did, and I can't remember the name of the creator, but everything is going to be in the description with links to the patterns on the Instagram page. Also, don't mind my completely messy unmade bed. If you're not new here, you know that typically like my life is a busy mess because I work full time and I have a 1.5-year-old and 3.5-year-old and this side business. So, okay, anyways, that's enough. I made this cute little, I got fuzzies everywhere from the sewing, Jellycat Sunshine. It's supposed to, well, it's supposed to sit, but it doesn't really sit, but he has little legs. Let's see if you can see it better. So it's really cute. I'll say that. It's very cute. The pattern is pretty easy. You make the front of the sun and the back of the sun, they're two separate pieces, and then you make the feet. And then you have to, it's a lot of sewing. You have to sew around the sun. You leave a space for the feet, and then you sew them in, and you kind of stuff as you go. In the pattern also, when you make the sun rays, you do a chain up to make the sun ray, and then you skip a couple of stitches and you slip stitch it on. So then there's a gap right here. In her pattern, she says to just stuff lightly because you're going to have a gap. And I think in the pattern, this is like a keychain. She seemed to make it in like chenille yarn. This, I use blanket yarn because that's what I use, so it's bigger. This would be a ginormous keychain. I think it's more like a desk buddy. But I wanted it to be stuffed, and if you left the holes, then the stuffing, it would just come out. So in addition to sewing all around, then I had to go back with more yarn and sew up the gaps. So it just depends what your vibe is. Do you have to stuff it? No, like it could be flat like a pancake, and especially if you use like smaller yarn and you were going to use it as a keychain, then that works, and it just has the little holes in it. But it was a lot of sewing for what it is. I don't know what else to say. I think it's really super cute. I feel like maybe I would modify the pattern so that when you attach the rays, maybe like you go back and you slip stitch it on or something. I don't know, just to reduce the sewing part of it. But I do think he's really adorable. So that is the other free pattern. So let's see if I have everything here. Yeah, so I don't have all of my plant hangers here. I'm missing one. So let's review. I ended up doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but 4 of those 6 are plant hangers. So 6 different free patterns. So we had the free patterns from q.squares.creations, these really cute plants. We had the hanging tiny blue alien whose name rhymes with itch from the Crochet zoologist. We had the hanging plant from Fiber Lily. I almost said flanging plant because I was thinking of Fiber Lily's username. And then of course the Jellycat. I think that the hanging plants, they're perfect for markets. I have a market this Saturday that is, and I forgot if I said this earlier in the video, but it's at a co-op grocery store. So there are definitely people that just go to this grocery store when they have events. It's really popular in my area, but there's definitely gonna just be people grocery shopping, and those are mostly adults, and maybe they don't take their kids with them. I think these are like a great item to have if that's like adult geared, that's like not just like plushy geared. So I'm hoping to make 1 or 2 more of those, maybe at least 1 more in the smaller size. So I'm really excited about finding those. I also think this little hanging stitch is like very cute. So I'm gonna try to maybe make 1 more of these before my market. It's little, it's quick. You only had to sew on the ears. And he's really popular right now with the new movie coming out. So that's everything. If you watched all the way here, comment below what your favorite pattern that I shared was, and maybe if you want to try it. And if you have a favorite free pattern that you like to make, share it, because this is all about sharing the love. It's about sharing the love by promoting free patterns from pattern designers and also just sharing with the community. So I really enjoyed doing this challenge. Thank you, the Cozy Buckeye, April, and thank you Stacy from Stacy Makes Apple Tree Boutique for kind of challenging the community to this. I've really enjoyed seeing other people's patterns that they shared. I know that April at the Cozy Buckeye is planning to make a playlist on her YouTube of anyone that shares patterns on YouTube. They've also been sharing when people have shared on their Instagram and tagged them. So if you're looking for free patterns, hopefully this will also be like a great resource. Whether you are just getting started with crochet or you do markets and you like finding some free patterns to use. Yeah, so comment below. Let me know which one was your favorite, and if you have a favorite free pattern that you like making. I will be back with a recap from my market. It probably won't be until some point next week that I'm able to put the recap together because the market is on Saturday, and then I have mom things to do on Sunday, and then my kids are out of daycare all next week because their provider is going on vacation, which she very much deserves. She's incredible, but that just means life is going to be a little extra crazy. So I'm going to stop blabbing. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure to give this video a like and subscribe. I just hit 150 subscribers, which I'm so thrilled about. That was my goal for June, and it's the end of June, and I'm just hoping to continue to grow this channel, meet more of you, and hopefully provide you great entertaining content that you like. I will see you next time.